What is up, guys? Handyman Sam here, and today I'm going to be replacing the spark plugs on this 1995 Saturn, and I'm going to show you a simple step-by-step process, and we can get through it pretty fast. So let us begin. So these are the basic tools you'll need for this job. You'll need, of course, spark plugs, a gapping tool for the spark plugs. You'll have this dielectric grease to prevent the spark plug boots from sticking to the ends of the spark plugs. You'll have a breaker bar for like your ratchet if you're trying to get them loose. That way, well, this is just a pipe, but that way you can actually get it loose. You'll need also a torque wrench to be able to torque them down to the right specifications. Now, a torque wrench isn't required for this job. It's good to have, but if you do not have one, it's not the end of the world. I'll show you how to do it without one once we get to that point. So the first thing that we'll do is pop this hood latch. We'll then raise the hood in this little gap here, pull and lift up. We'll then take this hood prop and prop it up right there. Okay, we're all propped up. Now we can begin removing these boots one at a time. I do one at a time, that way they don't get mixed up. So you can use a tool for this, but if you are just going to use your hands, be sure not to grab it by the cord. Grab it further down, like right here, and slightly twist just to kind of get it loose on the spark plug, and then pull back, just like that. And right there you can see the spark plug we're taking out. In most socket sets, there's a little socket that looks just like this, and it is made for taking out spark plugs, and you can tell because there's a little rubber gasket on the inside that grips onto the spark plug. A regular socket doesn't have that. That's how you can tell the difference between the two. The best setup for this case is to put an extension on and a ratchet, so that way we can reach down pretty far and have plenty of clearance whenever we're trying to loosen. So now we'll begin to loosen. You can also put on this pipe if you want to, give you some extra leverage. There we go. And you do want to be sure that your engine is plenty cooled down before you start to loosen or installing spark plugs. Okay, first one comes out. Pretty rough shape, pretty oil fouled, but I expected it. This car is an older car and burns a lot of oil, so I do have to replace them pretty often. This is what a normal operating spark plug looks like in your vehicle. This is pretty normal versus what an oil-fouled spark plug looks like. Now obviously this is in pretty bad shape, which is why I'm replacing these. Most people I've heard like to change out their spark plugs every 100,000 miles or less, and it shows in this book right here. This is actually a really good book. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, but I've had like a lot of luck with this book on figuring out when I want to change things. It really depends on how old your vehicle is, also what type of spark plugs you use. If you just use copper, then you're probably going to have to change out your spark plugs more often. Now if you use like a more higher end brand like iridium or material, iridium, then you're going to have a lot more span in between each change. So at this point we would take our new spark plug and gap it. But obviously these cannot be gapped. These are permanently gapped and you can't actually move anything around. You would use a tool like this, and what you would do is you would slide in your spark plug on the smallest end first. You would have a little hook looking thing that would be over the top of the middle little prong that you see there in the middle, the little electrode. And you would make sure that it is set to factory settings. On this car, you can see that the spark plug gap is 0.040 inches. I wanted to better expound upon how you use this tool. So basically the green arrow is the direction you'll slide the spark plug. The red arrow is where you can open up the gap of the spark plug. The blue arrow you see is the little hook I was talking about. That's what you'd want to open up. And then the yellow circle is the gap that we're actually looking for. If you need to close the gap, all you do is push the little hook on the back of the tool. So now we'll take our spark plug, insert it back into that same hole, tighten it down by hand until it seats. Then you'll take your ratchet, set it to tighten. And this is how to do it without the torque wrench. So what you'll do is at this point it is seated. The washer has seated on the bottom. This is the washer I'm talking about. So the goal is to crush this washer a little bit. And so how to do that is start here, turn it about a quarter turn, come back, do another quarter turn, but actually about 1/8 of a turn right there feels like it has crushed the washer and is fully seated. So once you feel that getting tight to where you can't really push anymore, that's where to stop. So now we'll pull our ratchet out and can apply some of this grease onto the end of the spark plug. We can now take our spark plug boot, push it back on until you hear it click, and all that's left is taking out these last 3. Now, of course, if you're doing more spark plugs, it's going to take more time, such as if you have like a V8 engine or a V6, that's of course going to take longer. But this 4-cylinder is a really quick, easy job. If you are using a torque wrench, I believe it is 20 foot-pounds that you should tighten the spark plugs down to. Well, of course, let's see how she runs. She runs good, just like before. Well, actually a little better. I also like to keep a book on how the repairs, or how often I've done repairs. And this will tell me like what I've done recently or have done in the past. So that way if there's a problem with my vehicle, I can rule things out if I've already replaced it. Well guys, that's all I have for you today. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. I try to post a video every once in a while. I just try to do like these car repair videos and a few woodworking type videos as well. So if you do feel like giving this video a like, please do. And we'll see you in the next one. Wow, I haven't done this in a long time. Try again. What is up, guys? Handyman Sam here, and nope, that's not it either. What is up, guys? Handyman Sam here, and today I'm going to be nope. What is up, guys? Handyman Sam here, and today I'm going to be replacing the spark plugs on this 1995 Saturn. Yeah, that's not it. What is up, guys? Handyman Sam here. Sure, I'll use that one.